Hi, I'm Kevin Liu. This is Crash Course World History, and today we'll be—
Mr. Liu, isn't that copyrighted?
Don't interrupt me, but for once in your life, you're correct. That's better. So before I rudely interrupted myself, today we're going to be talking about science in the Renaissance through Leonardo da Vinci's work. To start off, let's give some brief exposition. Leonardo da Vinci was born on April 15th, 1452. During the age of 17, da Vinci worked as an apprentice of Andrea del Verrocchio in Florence, Italy. It was sort of like a modern internship, except Da Vinci got 100 times more experience we would get today. This was when Da Vinci actually started to understand and appreciate art, which eventually led him on to study science and autonomy. Da Vinci continued to enhance his paintings to an even further extent, creating more and more realistic art. His interest in science and art grew rapidly. He sketched the world around him, studying rock formations, caves, and even fossils. This helped him to understand the world, and all this led him to his scientific career. Da Vinci's exploration of the brain led him to discoveries in neuroautonomy. His understandings of the human body caused many great advances in medicine. Not only was he ahead of his time in neuroautonomy, but he also had many scientific breakthroughs. For instance, Da Vinci also talked about the theory of tectonic plates. However, many people didn't believe him, as most of everyone was, well, undereducated. And while doing all of this, Da Vinci was creating paintings. He was quite the Renaissance man. Da Vinci knew that science could bring his paintings to the next level, so with this idea in mind, he started to study autonomy to focus on drawing humans. After a couple of years of studying autonomy, he realized that physics was more important. He even figured out that light reflects off of objects, as well as many other discoveries. And on the side, he learned how to mix colors. This resulted in amazing artwork. Seriously, what can't this guy do? Well, I guess he can't beat me in chess. Son of a bitch! So as I was saying, Da Vinci basically could do everything, however he never really boasted about his work. Leonardo da Vinci was a very secretive man, and he had no intent in publishing any of his work, nor communicating with any other great scientists of his time. But if he had shown all his research to the public and explained human anatomy, then people back then could have had a better understanding of the human body. His detailed analysis of the circulatory system almost looks like it could be in our medical textbooks. In short, he was me, an introvert. Plus all his work he did but that's beside the point. Along with being an introvert, numerous famous paintings of Da Vinci's were extremely realistic. To go more in depth, let's go to the thought bubble. Da Vinci's scientific observations helped him measure all the small details in his paintings. He studied human autonomy and nature and just tons and tons of things. Another reason why his paintings were so good was because he studied light. Da Vinci's extensive research allowed him to be a master of the art of chiaroscuro. The art of chiaroscuro used light and dark shades to make paintings look three-dimensional. This painting style was common as of the time, but Da Vinci was one of the first to use light in ways which surprised the world. Thanks, Thought Bubble! Leonardo da Vinci is still known around the world for his amazing artwork. The artwork which brings him the most amount of praise is, you guessed it, the Mona Lisa. This painting is probably one of the most renowned and famous paintings all around the world throughout its time. This painting demonstrates a visual representation of happiness, which the Italians refer as Gioconda. Oh, it's time for the open letter box! Please don't copyright us! But first, let's see what's in the secret section of a structure or container in which certain items can be kept separate from others. Oh, it's a doctor's note about being illiterate. Why is there a doctor's note about being literate, I hear you ask? Well, it's our way of transitioning to tell you guys that Leonardo da Vinci was actually illiterate. Despite our cheesy introductions, Leonardo da Vinci was in fact illiterate. This can be noted as an important characteristic because Da Vinci was one of the most well-known people in history, and still is. Yet, he didn't have a formal education. With the power of creativity, Da Vinci was able to be ahead of his time, as well as be talented in many different subjects. Take that, educational system. Leonardo da Vinci studied art, nature, and physics, but he also invented many things. He built one of the first odometers and anemometers. He also focused on these inventions during a period of the Renaissance. These resulted in him to measure long distances, which he used to create highly detailed military maps. He was so ahead of his time that he even sketched designs of the modern tank. Like, who does that? Some may question if Da Vinci was actually a time traveler.
Or maybe he was like any other science fiction writer.
Okay, yeah, that might be true too. After 500 years, we look back at Da Vinci's work, and no one can help but be amazed. He experimented to make better art and also had a lot of knowledge about different fields of study. In addition to all this, he earned prestigious awards, such as the World Awards of Art, which came with a $10,000 prize money and diploma, and a commemorative medal. I don't get that when I win chess tournaments. In short, Leonardo da Vinci's science led him to do many great things. This can be shown visually through his art and physically through his inventions. He's a man who basically did everything. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week. Cat's Course is produced and directed by myself. Our script supervisor is myself. The show is written by myself. Our research team is researched by Anish Gangu. And our graphic design team is myself. To support our lack of sleep, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. It'll mean a lot to us. Good night.